when I rant and rave about how I think cold outreach is done poorly, please do not misunderstand me to imply that I think cold outreach is inherently bad or inherently wrong. After all, one-to-one cold is one of the Hormozi core four. And believe me, I am not the one who is going to say that Alex Hormozi is wrong. Because he absolutely is not wrong. He is right. One-to-one cold done well can be incredibly powerful, incredibly useful, a very good technique. What I am opposed to is one-to-one cold done poorly. One-to-one cold without proper audience selection and message crafting. When the one-to-one cold blasts the wrong audience at the wrong time with the wrong message, it is simply spam. When it is done well, it can feel like a lifeline, shirt worn deliberately, to the right person. So here's the short message, and then I'll tell a longer story. I have had conversations over the course of the last 3 to 4 months with a number of people who are sending me cold outreach. And easily 2/3 of them are happy with the results. Those are not who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the other 1/3 who are not getting the results they expect and they don't know why. I will submit that the why is targeting and messaging. The channel is not the problem. Who you're talking to and whether the offer is relevant to them is what the issue is. The issue of the 1/3 of the people who seem willing to have a conversation with me, most of them don't want my help resolving the issue. And that's okay. If all I have done in having the conversation with them is led them to a place where they're realizing that they need to go back to the drawing board and do some reanalysis, then I have had some positive effect for them in the course of their marketing system. Of the 1/3 who say, well, what do I do about that? I do have a program, a self-guided, I call it a workshop, but it's self-guided. A self-guided system of development to refine your marketing system. So 1/9 of the people, 1/3 of 1/3, seem willing to entertain the fact that that might be the solution for them. Now, the next thing I need to refine is once somebody says yes to that, does the experience lead them to actually make progress? That's between me and them, but it doesn't negate my finding that confirms there is this audience of struggling solopreneurs who've been told, follow this particular script, you'll be okay, and it's just not working for them. And all I'm suggesting to that audience is maybe the script that the guru gave you isn't wrong, but it's addressed to the wrong audience. It's not addressed to your audience, it's addressed to that guru's audience. So here's the longer story, or the not one-to-one cold, but one-to-one warm, where this issue played out. And I'm going to include it on one video, and then maybe I'll split them into two videos. Maybe I'll just leave them as one video. I was in a virtual networking event today, and the challenge for virtual networking is, if you treat it like a broadcast channel, if you treat it like I'm just going to pitch and you're going to buy, well, the issue that Dr. Ivan Meisner, the founder of BNI, says is that is the networking disconnect. Everyone goes to a networking event planning to sell. No one goes to a networking event planning to buy. So this one particular person in this networking huddle of 4 people says, I'll give you a 10-minute demonstration of my software. Well, I'm not going to sign up for a 10-minute demonstration, because the 10 minutes is one way. He's managing, that's a sales conversation. He's running the show. If he wants to do a 20-minute conversation, I'll let him pitch for 10 minutes, but I get my 10 minutes in the sun as well. Well, one of the other people in the conversation, her statement was, I've seen lots of platforms. That platform cannot be as amazing as you think it is. And he hard pushed. He said, oh, give me 10 minutes, I'll prove it. I watched her react emotionally to the fact that he wasn't willing to listen to her offer to have a conversation. She was offering to have a conversation. She was offering to invite him into her world if his software was good, but she wasn't going to just let him pitch her. She was going to have him have a conversation with her. That's the difference between good one-to-one outreach and bad one-to-one outreach. Bad one-to-one outreach is, I'm going to blast my thing and you're going to buy it. It's a buyer-only frame that has only one positive outcome. You buy my thing. If you go into the one-to-one cold outreach environment, yes, my objective is to sell, but I'm more curious about how the conversation goes. You'll get the opportunities that you would not have otherwise experienced. If your only outcome is, I'm going to sell my thing, then they have only two choices. They can block you or they can buy. If you go into the one-to-one cold outreach strategy with the goal of, I want to sell my thing, but I'm interested to see how the conversation goes, then now you give the buyer more optionality. Yes, the buyer can buy. Yes, the buyer may still block you, but the buyer might also show you an opportunity that you didn't know existed. The buyer might also help you reevaluate how you're doing your messaging. The buyer might also actually show you that their product is something that you need. And you would not have known that if you didn't give them a chance to have a conversation with you. So when I rant against cold outreach, I'm not saying don't do cold outreach. I'm saying do cold outreach well. Hormozi isn't saying spam everybody. Hormozi is saying one-to-one cold outreach is a channel, a methodology, a strategy that absolutely does work. It can be done well. It can be done poorly. The point of the 9-point marketing plan is to build yourself a framework so that you know why you're using the cold outreach strategy, why you're applying it to the channels that you're applying it to, because it's reaching the audience that you want to reach at a time and place that you are pretty confident that they are listening. I'm Keith Bashirs. I'm the bald guy. I guide small businesses and solopreneurs on the journey from random acts of marketing to a coherent, structured marketing strategy. I help small businesses with marketing theory, tactics, techniques, training, and technology.